College basketball is back.
Are you ready?
It's finally here. The wait is over.
Unbelievable.
Let's go. Basketball time.
Big time!
Oh, you better buckle up. We in for a treat.
A new season starts at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Welcome back, Crazies. It is good to see you. They're ready for the #2 team in the country, Duke, armed with high expectations, opening its season against Dartmouth. Kansas is first in the country, and then right away, there's Duke. Year 2 for Jon Scheyer, and a whole bunch of stars came back. And tonight, we unveil this year's Blue Devils. With that, we say hello, and thanks for joining us. Great to be with my guy, Randolph Childress. I'm Mike Monaco. Duke finished strong last year, and then Kyle Filipowski, Tyrese Proctor, Jeremy Roach and company. They all came back, so there's massive expectations.
Yes, you know, you got to expect that at Duke. This is a great team. We know they're well coached. The transition from Coach K to Coach Scheyer went great. NBA talent with experience, led by the sophomore group. Second-ranked recruiting class in the country, coming from the bench. Everything you need to make a run into Phoenix.
Let's talk about those sophomores, and it's got to start with Kyle Filipowski. He's the ACC preseason player of the year, and he's a preseason first-team All-American.
The most versatile 7-footer in the country. He just attacks you in so many different ways. He can punish you inside on switches. He takes your bigs outside. He shoots threes. He attacks off the dribbles. He's 18 pounds stronger this year. It's the reason why he's first-team All-American and preseason ACC Player of the Year.
And he's got 2 hips as well. We're going to get into that as we go along. Meanwhile, another one of the sophomores, Tyrese Proctor, might have been a first-round pick as well. Break down his game at point guard.
Well, he was already a really good on-ball defender. Took care of the basketball, assist-to-turnover ratio. You saw him finding a guy there. The biggest jump for him to become a superstar in college basketball would be that right there. Being ready to shoot, knocking down three-point shots, and making the adjustment on the offensive end and just being aggressive.
That's a big thing to watch overall for this Duke team, how well they shoot it from long range this year. It is good to hear this place buzzing and roaring once again. And how about this slate we've had on ACC Network? A triple header and a double dip on the men's basketball side that started down the road in Chapel Hill with Carolina, and now year 2 for Jon Scheyer.
Can't go much better than that. We talked about it in the opening, and you're talking about a guy that's coaching at his alma mater with championship expectations, and he's doing the job so far. Just an amazing transition for him.
Just about ready to go with the Dartmouth Big Green here from Hanover, New Hampshire, out of the Ivy League. They bring back a lot as well. First time in program history they face Duke, and we are ready to go. Ryan Sassano's got the ball in hand. Kyle Filipowski wins the tip back to Jared McCain, and off we go with a new season. Ryan Young gets the start today. No Mark Mitchell. He's out with a sprained ankle suffered a couple of days ago. So Young into the starting lineup, and a jump ball is called on the way up, and it belongs to Dartmouth.
Well, we saw earlier the advantage of Young being inside. Filipowski, his versatility, now he slides to the 4. Tried to get Young going inside. Great defensive possession by Dartmouth to start the game.
Duke extends pressure out. And the point guard for Dartmouth is Ryan Cornish. He's one of the top 2 scorers back from last year's group. 12 a game for 10 in black. And his head coach, Dave McLaughlin, said to us pregame he's going to be hounded for 94 feet.
Yes, he's got to accept the challenge. He's got to initiate offense, and he's got to score as well. Duke's pressure extending the defense.
This is Brandon Mitchell Day matched up with Filipowski. Late shot clock in now. Cornish. Filipowski with the head. Shot clock winding down, and Cornish comes up empty.
Something Scheyer wants to pay attention to. Early, aggressive defense by Duke.
See the starting 5 for the Blue Devils with Filipowski banging and scoring the first points.
There's no matchup for him. No one on the Dartmouth team has the size or the strength to guard him. Too small, goes inside, turns over the right shoulder, banks it in.
And you think bigger teams even, it's going to be a matchup nightmare.
It doesn't matter, because if you put a bigger guy on him, he can stretch the floor, take you out.
Good back cut there by Dusan Neshkovic, the other returning top scorer from last year, also at 12 a game like Cornish.
But this is the way they want to play. They play 5 out. They're going to force Duke to guard them on the perimeter, and they're going to make a lot of cuts, put pressure on the rim. Duke's going to have to contain the dribble and then sag off on the weak side to help on those backdoor cuts.
Here's the number 10 recruit in our ESPN 100, Jared McCain, pivoting, tried to go up with it. Young to the loose ball, and he draws a foul on Jackson Monroe. All right, so we told you Mark Mitchell unavailable tonight. John Shire told us at shoot-around that Mitchell was 50-50 to play today after spraining the ankle on Saturday. They worked him out after shoot-around. He did participate somewhat in shoot-around as well, and they're going to be cautious.
And they should be. I mean, he's a vital part to this team, and, you know, things doesn't get any easier for Duke with Arizona and Michigan State coming up next. Great out-of-bounds play there.
What'd you like about it?
Good side, coming off the stagger. Jeremy Roach, the senior guard in this team, had a strong finish to the year last year. You want him getting off to an early start. Nothing like knocking down your first shot of the season either.
Got to feel good. Ball pressure on the perimeter, and we get a foul on Duke away from the ball. Dave McLaughlin's in his 8th year in Hanover, New Hampshire. Guy who played at Colby College in Maine, and now leading this group for Dartmouth. They were picked 7th of 8 in the Ivy League, but we told you there's a lot back from last year's group.
It is returning 7 of their 9 top players from a year ago. So this team has high expectations. Again, there's another backdoor cut. Didn't finish at that time, but they're going to put a lot of pressure on Duke on the rim.
McCain was a pass, extra pass. Proctor for Roach. Wide right, and the rebound down to Jaden Williams.
Good unselfish basketball there by Duke, finding an open guy. Be interesting to see, too. We got to watch Duke and watch that three-point shooting. Wasn't a strength a year ago, but I think they're much improved this year.
Tough turnaround there on the baseline jumper for the sophomore forward, Brandon Mitchell-Day. Yeah, that bears watching for Duke, as we already alluded to. 33.5% from 3 last year. They expect better from Tyrese Proctor, but back iron and down to Williams. Cornish, no look. Neshkovic couldn't haul it in, and a Dartmouth turnover.
Duke's pressure speeding Dartmouth up is what you want to see. Doesn't matter who's in the lineup, if it's Mitchell, Ryan Young, Christian Reeves, it doesn't matter, any of they're big. The pressure's going to continue. So far, they've been able to keep Dartmouth from getting consistent looks at the rim right now. The backdoor cuts are bothering them, though.
Some space for McCain, and a foul goes against Duke on Ryan Young. We enjoyed chatting with John Shire earlier today, excited for this group, and he said it's not a finished product. You got a lot of pieces to sort through because there's a ton of depth with all the players that came back from a great season last year.
It's not often you get NBA talent to return to school. He did that with the second-ranked class coming in, so he's got a good problem to have. He's got guys he's got to force to play him.
Filipowski went up on Neshkovic for the block. Duke runs. McCain triggers. Yes!
Great skip pass up the floor from Proctor to McCain. Knock it down to 3. Biggest adjustment you're going to see is that guy right there. His ability to knock down shots. He's coming in, proven shooter, showing you that why he's the number 10th ranked recruit in the country. Be fun to see his development and growth over the year.
Boy, he's not shy either. That is one assertive rookie. Freshman from Sacramento. Cornish got stripped, but drew a foul on the way in on Jared McCain.
Excited about making that shot. He comes down on the defensive end. Freshman mistake there. Just stay in front of the basketball. Got a little too excited. Gave his offensive player an angle to the rim and drew a foul.
And the Crazies adjudicate on the ruling.
I don't think the Crazies has ever liked the foul called on the Duke Blue Devils, so.
507th consecutive sellout here at Cameron Indoor. Offensive foul away from the ball on Dusan Neshkovic, who shoved Proctor. Duke by 5 in the first 4 minutes of the new season. ACC Men's College Basketball is brought to you by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. Dartmouth last year finished oh so close to the conference tournament. Remember, the top 4 teams in the Ivy League go to what's called Ivy Madness, the conference tournament. Dartmouth was 6th, 1 game out of that, and they were in it until the penultimate weekend of the regular season. And Dave McLaughlin said last year, it took them a while to figure out who they were. They feel like they know who they are going into this year.
Well, he knows what his team is capable of. Like I said, they're not the best three-point shooting team. He has size. He has versatility in his group. It'd be interesting to see what his sophomores do. He's another group of guys. He's relying on 3 sophomores to make a jump, help his team climb to the top 4 in the Ivy League.
There's Tyrese Proctor tumbling, kicks it out for Caleb Foster, freshman in his collegiate debut. Couldn't connect out of the corners. Foster and Christian Reeves, 21 in white, check in. The first 2 off the bench, again with Mark Mitchell unavailable with a sprained ankle. Foul away from the ball. So we're already seeing what the management is like of the rotation for Jon Scheyer.
Well, it's going to be, without Mark Mitchell, he's such a versatile piece, so they changes things now. Now you have to play with more intentional 5. Filipowski will spend more time at the 4 because you'll play with Ryan Young and Christian Reeves there.
Reeves at 7'1", and Filipowski, of course, a 7-footer. Here's Jackson Monroe, one of those talented sophomores for Dartmouth who, even as a big, they can play through him because he's an elite passer and he finds Mitchell Day.
And this is what we're talking about 5 out in multiple cuts like that. It forces Duke to pay attention to their guy and not look at the ball as much on the weak side. And when you do that, it gives you a chance for more one-on-one opportunities, but it forces you to guard your man and away from the ball. And younger teams, as this Duke team is, struggle with that.
Dave McLaughlin said to us today, I don't care who you are, constant cutting is a pain.
Constant aggressive cuts, and one of the most underrated skills as a big, as you see right there from Jackson Monroe. He's a great passer, and it's something you gotta have if you want to play 5 out from your bigs.
Roach back iron, rebound pulled down by Jaron Johnson, senior backup point guard at 6'5".
They're gonna get it to Monroe, the middle of the floor.
Cornish playing off ball here, trying to work on Proctor. Doubled and nearly turned it over. Monroe on the drive, trying to wiggle through on a reverse that wouldn't go. Tipped around and secured by Williams. Pull up short, rebound Foster.
That's what Coach Scheyer wants to see from his guards. The first time the guards were leaking out, didn't get a rebound. They were fortunate enough to get it back. That time Foster grabs the rebound. Big jump from last year's team with this smaller starting lineup and smaller rotation that Duke is playing is that the guards must rebound.
Jon Scheyer was adamant about that with us today. Good shot in the mid-range for Tyrese Proctor.
Great job by Proctor, getting in the paint, shooting a one-leg pull-up. I thought Duke got a little happy settling for jump shots and threes. Proctor settling them down, getting the feet in the paint, pulling up, hitting the mid-range runner.
Monroe at the elbow. Again, he can orchestrate. Classmate Mitchell Day. And he's blocked by Reeves.
That's what you want to see from Reeves if you come in. Give you some Dirk Lively approach.
Foster gets the roll.
Duke is coming at you in waves. Foster's coming from the bench. Not many teams have a McDonald All-American. Coming off the bench, Foster comes in. No one stops the ball, pushes and finishes at the rim.
Proctor whistled for a foul.
Just a great job. Not the way Dartmouth wants to attack Duke inside and one-on-one in the post. Foster pushes it. No one stops the basketball. Gets to the rim. Finishes inside. Great start by the freshman.
Good to see Christian Reeves out there after he tweaked his knee last Wednesday before Duke's exhibition game. It was held out as a precaution, so he's good to go.
It's great to see because he's forcing Coach Scheyer to play him. His ability to block shots and rebound, he can kind of fill in that Dirk Lively role for this Duke team, which is a critical part for this group.
Neskovic got blocked by Jalen Blakes just into the game off the bench. It was Proctor's second. He's out. Filipowski sits as well, and Blake's in along with McCain as Cornish picks it. Went up trying to flush it and was fouled by Blakes.
Just a careless pass there by Blakes. I don't think anyone stopped him. He could have turned the corner, went to the rim, was trying to reverse it. No one stopped him. Great job by Cornish. Getting in the passing lane now. I thought he was going to flush one.
He had bad intentions going up there. He's a fun guy to chat with. Junior from Potomac, Maryland. We told you their leading returning scorer. He grew up a Duke fan. he told us earlier today. And for his 11th birthday, his father, Trent, who's here tonight, by the way, surprised Ryan with tickets to a Duke game. He remembers it against Elon. And then this year on his birthday, he found out that they were playing Duke this year in this game, the season opener.
Happy birthday. You get the number 2, the second-ranked team in the country.
Splits at the stripe.
Corners from Sitwell Friends, great program up in Washington, D.C. area. Coach Singletary. Eric Singletary's done a great job there with Josh Hart alum.
Yeah.
Sadiq Bey, a couple of NBA guys.
Yeah, it took a grand total of 7 minutes and 9 seconds of game action for a DMV reference from Randolph Childress.
Hey, you got to represent. It's a lot of them out here. Jeremy Roach, you know, we're everywhere.
A guy who Cornish, by the way, is familiar with. Duke's up by 6. 5 buckets from 5 different players, and here's Foster. A little too strong. Neshkovich clears it.
Yeah, Foster a little bit out of control there. Jumped into some contact.
Nikola Dimitrievich gave it up for Williams, who moves it to one of the captains, Rob McCray. Baseline cut, Neshkovich finishes.
Neshkovich will do a really good job of back cutting there. Got the freshman on him. McCain fell asleep a little bit weak side. They're going to put a ton of pressure on the rim, and they're cutting, and they're looking for the cut late, so it's difficult to guard. This will be a good test for Duke younger guys.
McCain summons a ball screen. Drills another.
Can't give him that. He's an outstanding shooter, off the dribble or off the catch. That's why he's earned the right to start for this second-ranked team, and he's going to be a handful when this group is healthy.
Caleb Foster calls him a sniper.
That's exactly what he is. And
tipped away by Blakes, and it'll stay with Dartmouth when we come back. Well, a couple of threes for the sniper himself, Jared McCain, early on in his collegiate debut. Some offensive numbers from Duke last season. I know a lot of these, Randolph, jumped out to you. Break it down. What stood out?
Well, it just shows you for this team was the second-ranked team in the ACC and in the country in defensive end of the floor. Offensive end, they struggle. Three-point shooting, you can see they're bottom half of the league, middle of the pack in field goal percentage, and to win a championship and reach the heights that this team want to reach, got to shoot the ball better. Got off to a slow start a little bit tonight, but they got a few guys knocking down shots.
Dimitrievich left it short. Filipowski the rebound. Yeah, we said 33.5% from 3. That was the worst for Duke since the 18-19 season, and the second worst since the NCAA universally adopted the three-point line back in the mid-'80s.
Now, this is a unique lineup with Duke on the floor. They got 4 guards and Filipowski at the 5. This is the first time in the game he's played at the 5.
John Shire teased this to us at shoot-around today. He said you might see a very small ball lineup with Jalen Blakes at the 4.
I think that's going to be the most difficult part for Duke here early in the season, is to figure out which lineup they want to go with. Do they want to play really big, or they can even go small like this?
Well, that was Blakes matched up with the 6'8" Neshkovich, who bullied right through him.
Neshkovich posting up the smaller guards to Duke was a concern that they spoke about today in shoot-around, and he makes him pay right there. But again, you would think Jalen Blakes is the guy they need to get on the floor. He has the experience to guard him and the physical strength. I think he's too big for some of the other guards on the floor.
McCain going behind the back. Filipowski swirls one out.
Good look. He can live with that. First 3 of the game. First three-point attempt for him tonight.
Coming off a season in which he was 28% from 3, expected to be better in that regard. Dimitrievich missed it at the rim, and now Foster pushes and attacks and finishes.
The outlet passes and kicking the ball up in transition for Duke is really working. They're turning quick shots and turnovers in the offense, and Caleb Foster with the sudden change of pace and got the angle and the finish. It was the turnover here.
Here is Blakes with the left hand.
Duke doing what they do best, turning quick shots and turnovers in the offense there. Blake, easy steal, easy deuce, extending their pressure here.
He can be a bulldog, is what his teammates have long said defensively.
He's the best perimeter defender on this team, I think. The most versatile one. He's able to guard bigger guys. See him being active, sticks his hand in, gets a deflection.
Hey, coming up next, we will wrap up the night with the Nothing But Net crew right here in Durham. And look, Ask and You Shall Receive, also on the ESPN app. What do we got on Luke's jacket? You like it?
I don't know.
Not for you.
I don't know.
He can
I
pull it
like
off,
it
you
for him.
can't.
Yeah,
okay.
I like it for him.
That's what you're getting at.
That's all I mean. That's all I mean.
Good save. There's Monroe up top.
Luke's my guy.
Luke's the best. Cornish skips it. Williams hoists it and knocks it down. A contested 3 for Jaden Williams' first points.
Great find there by Cornish. And now with Ryan Young in, they can't switch defensively. That time, he tried to hedge and recover. Weak side, they tried to tag. Great job by Cornish, skipping it over to his shooter for 3.
Filipowski posting up. He's got Brandon Mitchell Day on him. On the face-up, Filipowski drew a double and walked with it.
I don't think Filipowski liked the call. This is a great job. It comes off. Ryan Young's hedging, trying to recover. Blake's has the tags. Get there too late. Hand down, man down. Knocks down a 3.
Tag means what?
Just on the weak side, you want to give him time to recover. He shows. You want to tag so Ryan Young can show on the ball, get back to his guy. Just a good job. He got there, just hit a contested 3. You can live with that if you're Duke.
Now look at this pressure from McCain up on Cornish with the shot clock winding down. Tough shot, Cornish drew the bump and spun it out.
Second foul on McCain. He's going to have to go out. Just a little bit of excitement, over-aggressive on the defensive end. He'll settle down. Cornish is using his experience, getting the angle on him, forced the contact. Jared McCain's going to have to sit for the half now.
Lots going to be expected of Ryan Cornish this year. We told you about his scoring. Dave McLaughlin said to us, he's also got to be the guy to get us into our offense. We need the production in terms of points, but got to be able to initiate and set up others as well, as we saw in the Williams 3.
Oh, he's expecting that from him. He's got to handle the pressure tonight. He's the one guy that can dribble through the pressure, handle the pressure, get them in the offense. But he can't just do that. He has to pick his moments like he did just there, taking advantage of the freshman drawing fouls and using his experience.
So he knocks down both and trims the Duke lead to 4, coming up on 8 to go in this first half.
If you see a little bit of full court pressure there, they'll after free throws, Dartmouth will extend pressure, fall back to this zone. Right now they're in the 3-2 zone.
On a skip for Foster.
Now Duke, you want to get that ball right in the high post. You don't want to settle for jump shots against the zone. That's what the zone wants you to do.
And Dartmouth runs off the miss. Neshkovich wraps it around for Williams. Corner, Mitchell Day. No dice, Blake's the rebound.
When Ryan Young's in, he changes things. Now what he is really effective there on the post. Turn it over that left shoulder, right?
And he gets bumped on the pivot. So Young fouled, we step aside. 7.5 to go at Cameron. So much back for Duke this season. Let's focus on line number 3. Players with 30-plus starts. 4 of them. Most since 2000. That was a pretty good year.
2001, yeah. Boozer, Battier, Nate James, and Jay Williams. Those guys won a national championship. So I'd say it was a heck of a year then, and this team is chasing the same goals and enough talent to pull it off.
They're in a 4-point game right now, and they drop a beauty of a baseline out of bounds for Kyle Filipowski.
Out of that same lineup last time they ran a stagger, this time they ran a backdoor cut.
Young might have got a piece of that on Cornish, and now Duke runs.
Now for Duke to have the advantage with Ryan Young playing in this game and at his size, they got to pound it inside. They hadn't shot in a free throw yet in this half, despite their size advantage. You expect Young to get it like now.
Well, here he is. Drew the double, scored over Williams.
Great job by Ryan Young moving his feet. They fronted him on the first side. He reversed it, kept his feet moving so the guard couldn't get back in front. Great job by Ryan Young, sealing the small guard.
Year 2 for one of the captains here in Durham, Ryan Young, the most vocal guy on the team, according to John Shire. Neshkovich, long 2.
That's a sweet-looking jump shot there. Every time he shoots it, it looks like it's going in.
He was one of the best three-point shooters in the Ivy League last year at 42%. For Dusan Neshkovic, he's got 8. Foster answers.
Duke didn't do a lot that time against the zone. I expect them at some point to let the ball touch the paint. They just reversed it around the perimeter. That's just talent there. Foster just raising up, pulling it, shooting the 3.
Neshkovic was feeling it. Through some contact, he comes up empty, and he will hear that for the next hour and a half.
That's my kind of guy. He hits one shot, then he does a heat check. Ryan Young just working, just keeping his feet moving. Cornish can't get back in front. Helps too late. Easy 2 for him. Dartmouth's in that 3-2 zone. That's where you want the ball to get, and you get open looks from there.
Foster short.
You can live with that 3 because the ball goes inside, then it goes back out. You don't want it just to work around the perimeter and shoot 3s. You want it to go inside the paint.
Cornish wraps it around for Monroe, who sticks it.
It's a great find right there by the junior point guard. Cornish just turns the corner. And that's what you're going to do to attack this group now with Ryan Young inside. He's not going to switch. He's going to hedge. You got to hold him with his dribble penetration. Monroe's ability to knock down shots.
Proctor, a deep one.
We talked about the improvement. We know the confidence there. He made 5 in the exhibition game.
John Shire said to us today, he didn't even take 5 in a game last year.
He wants him in attack mode because he knows how unselfish he is.
Williams, no. Young the board. Duke by 9 with the basketball with 4:45 to go until halftime.
Duke can play at a controlled pace. They get whatever they want. Just
Like
turn down
that.
shots for better shots, just like that.
Wide open.
Jeremy Roach could have shot that 3. Turned around, threw it back to his 7-footer, his All-American big. Scary thing to see when he's at the 5 knocking those shots down. Dartmouth coming out of the timeout, trying to resurrect and find out what's going on with the defensive end of the floor. This time there was a confusion coming down. Jeremy Roach in a stagger, and there's some confusion on switching, and you don't leave the first team All-American wide open for 3. Coach had to call a timeout, get that rectified, and we can leave a lot of guys open, but you don't leave that guy open.
7 for Kyle Filipowski, ACC preseason player of the year and a preseason first-team All-American. Duke's now hit 3 of its last 4 triples, getting late in this first half. Jaron Johnson, shot clock winding down. He attacks, finds Monroe. Bunny was short, tipped around, and it stays with Dartmouth.
When all else breaks down with Dartmouth, they're going to put Ryan Young in the ball screen because they know he's going to hedge. Monroe can pop. That shot's going to be there, so whether he takes it or not. But if he takes it and dribble handoff with someone else, Ryan Young is stopping the penetration. He can't help.
By getting him into a hedge, you know the pop's going to be there.
You know it's going to be there, like now. Set the screen.
So
he comes
here he
up.
is, 15 hedging. Cornish split it, and then Filipowski broke up the passing lane. It belongs to Duke.
It's a really good job by Cornish there. I know it's a turnover, but great job by splitting the ball screen defense. Throw the no-look pass. Teammates wasn't ready for it.
Tyrese Proctor's back into the game with 2 fouls here. John Shire last year in his first year as a head coach, pretty lenient with guys with 2 fouls in the first half. Roach.
He doesn't have to be this year because he has so much depth. With that guy, a senior, realizing his team needs a moment, basket comes off, doesn't stop the ball, gets the angle. He played so well the end of last year, and it's gotten off to a good start here tonight. This team starts 3 point guards essentially with he, Proctor, and McCain, and they take turns playing with the ball. And when you got not many teams have 3 quality point guards starting the game.
Jeremy Roach, 16 points from 1,000 in his career. Why do you think off-ball fit him so well down the stretch, like you said?
I just think you get easier shots when you're playing with other quality guards. You get a lot of catch and shoot opportunities. You don't have to create everything. And I don't think it's just off the ball, because I think he's equally effective with the ball in his hand. But they're feeding off each other.
Cornish will get 3 at the line. Got Roach in the air.
Cornish with a head-up play, even on the experienced senior Roach. Just shot fakes. Gets this other DMV guy in the air. Those two guys.
If you had 1.5 as the over, we have hit the over.
Well, these two guys got a lot in common. They both share the same trainer back home, and you can believe this is a little friendly rivalry going on here tonight. And Cornish has fared fairly well. He's been a handful for the Duke Guards tonight.
Hey, the ACC Fall Championships continue Wednesday night with the semifinals. All matches are right here on ACCN and the ESPN app, the home of ACC Championships. So 2 fouls on Jeremy Roach as well, joining Jared McCain and Tyrese Proctor.
And now you can, Coach Shire can easily leave. He's leaving Roach in the game right now. He has so much depth and versatility. He can just let it play out, pick his matchups. Now he's moving Roach off the ball, putting the ball in Proctor's hand.
2 out of 3 for Cornish. And Proctor will stare down some extended pressure again from Dave McLaughlin and Dartmouth.
They're just using this to slow Duke down. They're mixing up their defenses. Usually they're full court pressure back to a zone. This time they fall back to a man. Great job by Monroe there. If he didn't get that, that was an easy basket. Proctor did a good job turning the corner, looking to find Ryan Young for the lob.
Proctor to the corner. Good look on a quick baseline out of bounds.
Duke's done a great job of scoring out of the baseline out of bound plays. They've gotten 2 baskets out of it and almost a 3rd one there.
You told me today they've been running the same stuff for a very long time.
They're just plug and play, just different guys. Just which NBA guy, which pro prospect is running the plays is the only difference.
Brandon Mitchell-Day on the face-up, was shut off by Filipowski. Now 5 to shoot for Johnson off the cross. Roach with him, tough fall away, no dice.
This is where Duke's so dangerous, turning quick shots into transition baskets.
Foster attacks and got stripped. On the way up, it stays with the Blue Devils.
You'd like to see Frost take one more, kick it to the corner. I think he had Roach there. He'll see that on film and make that one more pass. I know they've worked on quite a bit.
So Roach sits with his 2. Proctor still out there, he'll key it in. Filipowski thought about it. A clear out for Kyle Filipowski. Carving out space and finishing.
They worked on their defense. When he gets the ball and they're not in front, they want to dig. But Filipowski's just too big, too strong, steps through, draws the foul and the chance at an and 1. Saw the dig there to come down, try to make a pick up his dribble. He did. But he just elevates and shoot. It's just so many, he just hurts you in so many different ways.
Decided to come back, the video announcing it. It's got 5 million views on Twitter. Folks here were excited about that.
You don't expect many first-round draft picks, and he was a surefire first-round draft pick for return to school. I think some of that, too, was he loves Duke. He wants to do something special here.
Blake's off the turnover. Blake's goes up and scores.
Duke's turning up the pressure, another steal. No one is better in the country at turning defense in the offense, and Dartmouth's got to get this thing under control if they want to stick around on this one. Blake just turns the corner, comes down, takes the contact from Cornish and just finishes. So strong. Like I said, the best perimeter defender of the guards on this team, and he's one of those guys that we talked about it. Duke has 13 guys that can play, but it's who's going to force Coach Shire to make them play him. Jalen Blake's one of those guys because he's defensive end of the floor, and everybody brings something different. Ryan Young is their best low post scoring guy.
When we get to the end of January, 13 will be how many in a rotation every single night?
I would say he's comfortable with 7 now. We'll see at the end of the year if that number is 8, 9, or 10. I don't see them going much more than 10 guys. But I do think everybody brings something different to the table.
Largest lead of the night for Duke, and Dartmouth's in a bind here with 90 ticks to go until intermission.
Duke's pressure is extended. You don't want to be out 30 feet from the basket initiating your offense.
Dimitrievich around the corner, got a good look and missed it.
Down the floor so quick, they're look Ryan Young inside.
Posting up, going to work, kicking it out, and Blake's knocking it down.
Duke started out 2 of 7. Since then, they're 4 of 5. They're heating up from the behind the line. And they're building a 21-point lead here in the first half.
17-2 run over the last 4+ minutes. Johnson off the bounce. Gave it up. Now Rob McCray, shot clock at 5. Dimitrievich. Neshkovich. Short and a shot clock violation.
It's a great job by Duke. Even Ryan Young, great communication on the switch. Under 7 seconds, you want to switch. Containing the dribble. That's what you want to see. Early with the team, with this many young guys playing. A couple of freshmen out there on the floor. But when that guy right there knows his role, he's heating up the ball. You love it when a guy forces his coach to play him.
Jon Scheyer takes a timeout with 27 seconds to go until halftime. Duke number 2 in the country. You compare them, Randolph-Childress, to the other top teams in the nation. Coming into this year, what do you like most about them compared to some of the others?
I think they have the versatility to play with a bigger lineup, with Mitchell at the 3, which they did a year ago, Filipowski at the 4, which they done tonight. Now, if Mark Mitchell's there, then the original lineup they want to start with is Filipowski at the 5 that we hadn't seen a lot of tonight, that we'll see at some point during the year. So they can play with 4 guards, they can play with 3 guards. I just think they have so much depth and versatility that not a lot of teams have. And then with that, it takes an adjustment because you got to see what's effective.
They can effectively hold for the final shot of this half. It's about a second difference between game clock and shot clock headed to halftime.
Yeah, they're going to hold it down. I'd say he's going to go at about 8-second mark. Dartmouth does a great job going to the zone.
Filipowski gives it up. And now Proctor behind the back and draws a foul on Rob McCray with 4.6 to go.
Jamie Lucky with the quick call. He still got it, baby. Jamie Lucky still got it.
Another year, and good to see old Jamie Lucky. And the 1-and-1 coming for Tyrese Proctor. You know, Jon Scheyer said to us today, Tyrese Proctor's different. We asked him how. He said, up here, and pointed to his head. He said, mentally, the swagger, the maturity of Tyrese Proctor are the first things that stood out to his head coach.
Well, it's great to see, and I think he's earned that with being named the captain. And, it'll be interesting to see how that translates. He's given him a ton of confidence this year, and he has all the tools, all the physical tools. So if he gets it mentally, it'll be great. And he better do it. We saw him in his UGG slippers and shoot around today. So if you got UGG slippers on, you got some swag.
He's got the fresh hair this year, too. He's got it all working. Duke ends the half on a 17-2 run. Jon Scheyer's group has doubled up Dartmouth in the opener here at Cameron. Our score at the half, it's Duke 42, Dartmouth 21. Coming up after this break, Kelsey Riggs, Luke Hancock, Carlos Boozer, and Joel Berry have your halftime coverage. Back in Durham at Cameron Indoor Stadium, ready for the second half with the number 2 team in the country here on opening night, Duke, doubling up Dartmouth. With Randolph-Childress, Mike Monaco with you, and Duke knocked down 6 threes, Randolph, in that first half.
Yeah, and they had 5 different guys that contributed for a team that struggled from three-point line last year. They've gotten off to a quick start. Sniper there, Jared McCain gets it off the catch and off the dribble, showing you what his reputation is about. The other freshman coming in, Caleb Foster comes in saying, I can do it. And we know that second team all preseason ACC guard comes in, continue to take that step. Filipowski starts knocking him down at the 5. Look out. And Jalen Blake's gets it on the yak, showing you he's more than a defender. And again, that's critical for this team because, like I said, I think they're the most versatile team in the country. They're improved shooting, but they have it in so many different ways. This is going to be interesting to see. What does Coach Shire decide in lineup to go with? Like right now, he's going with the bigger lineup. Ryan Young and Christian Reeves have played over 17 minutes, so we hadn't seen a lot of the small ball lineup that would have started if Mark Mitchell had played.
If you're just joining us, Mark Mitchell not playing in this game because he sprained his ankle in practice 2 days ago. Did go through some of shoot-around today and did go through a workout after shoot-around, but they're going to err on the side of caution there with a game Friday looming against Arizona, and then next week against Michigan State, a couple of top 12 opponents coming in the next 8 days.
They'll learn a lot about their team, and as they try to figure out who's going to play and who's not right now, they'll learn that fast. And they need that guy healthy with his size and ability to defend against those older and physical teams, which has been the kryptonite of this Duke team with so many young guys.
So to start the second half, it's the 5 for John Shire, to your point, that he started the night with. McCain, Roach, Proctor, Young stepping in for Mitchell, and Filipowski. Jared McCain swirls one out, and a one-armed rebound draws a foul from Brandon Mitchell-Day.
A little bit of how Duke started the game, that shot, just coming off a pin down. Jared McCain knocked down a couple of threes in the first half. He got a good look. You want him taking those. But you also want to see the ball go inside. They have a distinct advantage of size inside. Duke got themselves in trouble earlier by settling for those threes and not getting the ball inside.
All right, Dartmouth at their best in the first half. What do you like most?
I like that play just we just saw. Putting Ryan Young in ball screens and making plays off that. Got the shot they wanted. It was just an air ball there.
Here's Filipowski being hounded by Mitchell-Day. Filipowski spinning and scoring.
Just a handful. Cut him off going middle. He spins baseline. Help is late. It's too easy of a play there. You're going to have to dig or come trap. You got to get the ball out of his hand. You can't allow him to play one-on-one.
He had 15 and 9 per game last year. He's got a dozen in this one. Extra pass to Brandon Mitchell-Day, who can step out and shoot it at 6'8".
We talked about the Duke sophomores. This Dartmouth sophomore group of Jaden Williams, Brandon Mitchell-Day, and Monroe are pretty good players themselves.
Foul on the Filipowski drive. That's going to be a big part of them taking a step this year.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big part. They spread you out. It's difficult to guard because they play 5 out. So anytime anyone dribble penetration gets in, extra pass there, knocks down a shot. They'll get those opportunities all year long.
McCain off the shot fake into the mid-range.
Great shot fake, rhythm shot. Who says the mid-range game is dead? Just a sweet jump shot there. About a freshman from Sacramento.
The scouts are really excited about. It's an elite work ethic. It's a guy who's changed his body as well over his high school years in Jared McCain, and he's got a great feel for the game as Mitchell-Day misses this time.
Well, he's physically ready to play right now. He's nearly a 200-pound guard coming as a freshman. Great find by Proctor. Hello. How do you lose that guy inside? It won't get any easier than that two there by Filipowski.
Proctor just whipped it in there to Kyle Filipowski, who's up to 14. There's Monroe straight on. Offensive rebound, Neshkovich, but he missed it. Duke runs. Proctor, picked by Cornish.
Something to keep your eyes on there. It's not the turnover that Coach Shire is upset about, as Jared McCain picks up his 3rd foul.
Not the turnover, but what?
But it's the play they talked about again on the defensive end of the floor. Just staying sound, staying solid, boxing out and finishing possessions by rebounding. But here, Proctor showing you why he has such a high assist-to-turnover ratio last year. So great at that. Finding a big man, you definitely got to find him. But he also didn't block out on the other end, and we talked about it before. With this small lineup, the key to those guards is, again, he gets beat on the back door, is rebounding the basketball. The guards for Duke have to rebound, even when you got Ryan Young and Filipowski on the floor. Because Filipowski's at the 4 now, he's going to be drawn away from the basket.
He's out high as Young posts up and gets it from Roach. Filipowski on the cut.
Great job by Ryan Young catching it. Good cut by Filipowski.
16 now for Kyle Filipowski. John Shire told us pregame he's healthy. He's in a good place coming off that double hip surgery as Neshkovich drives in for 2 more.
Great drive by Neshkovich, just pressing the screen.
McCain left alone in the corner. Offensive rebound, Young, Filipowski.
Ryan Young playing the point center spot from the mid post there. Another backdoor cut and dunk by Filipowski.
Williams, no, and then it deflects off of Filipowski and will stay with the big green.
If it worked the first time, try it again. Ryan Young with the backdoor cut to Filipowski there.
And he's a sophomore now. He knows where the camera is.
Yeah, he knows where the ladies are. He knows what's going on around.
He's got Duke up by 24, first 3.5 minutes out of halftime. And a foul called on McCain. Filipowski's got 8 of the 10 for Duke.
That's his
out of
4th.
halftime.
That's McCain's 4th foul again, and you can tell Shire wanted to trust him and leave him in the game. And this is where, as a young player, your coach is trying to trust you, and you got to prove him and let him know when you're a heady guy like Jared McCain, you got your 3rd foul. Got to be smart there and not pick up the 4th. And they're going to need him in bigger games, in the next 2 games to be exact, with 12th ranked Arizona and 4th ranked Michigan State coming up.
Good drive again by Dusan Neshkovich, known for his shooting, but he attacks, and he's got 14.
But he shoots the ball so well, you have to get up and press him on his shot. And when you shoot it that great, it makes it a lot easier to drive by guys.
Dave McLaughlin said he's not going to get easy looks in this game. Good drive by Roach.
Roach just catches it on a reversal and jab, step left, drives right down the middle, finishing with that strong hand, right hand.
Williams, tough one from long range, contested by Foster. So Duke by 24, first 4.5 minutes of the second half. And here's Filipowski going to work, and he's fouled by McCray.
That's just what you want to see out of Filipowski there, just driving from the five spot. Just put so much pressure on your defense. Duke up 24 here early in the second half.
Kyle Filipowski is now 2-hip flip. And it's kind of crazy to think that he played and was so successful last year as a freshman, knowing that he would probably need what he ended up having in the offseason. Surgery on both his hips to basically shave down the hip bones and adjust what were, as he describes it, football-shaped hip bones into something a little more oval. And as he says, I feel like a regular human with hips, and he's noticed the difference in terms of what he's capable of lifting and how free he is movement-wise.
All I can say to that is, ouch. That sounds so painful. I couldn't imagine playing. Even though I can relate, I know how it feels to walk around in pain with these knees of mine, but he looks great right now. And for the reigning ACC Rookie of the Year and ACC Tournament MVP with bad hips, and now he's healthy. Look out, college basketball.
What do you think of the nickname bestowed upon him by associate head coach Jay Lucas of 2-hip flip? That's good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Flip sits with 20 on 8 of 9 shooting. So Reeves is in at the 5 for Duke. Proctor saw an offensive foul on a screen set by Christian Reeves.
Yeah, but as a guard player, I'd want to see guards slow down. Proctor kept going, didn't slow down, give Reeves enough time to set the screen. And that's one of those as a point guard. Proctor will look at film and tell a big fella, I got to slow down and wait on you to get your feet set.
Tyrese Proctor's so lethal in the pick and roll game. Monroe drives, attacking Reeves. Kicking out. Neshkovich.
Jalen Blakes was reaching that time and cannot leave Neshkovich. He's shot 42% from 3 on the year last year. You don't want to give a guy like that open looks.
23-year-old senior who last year had that breakout season. Got 12 a game. He's got the rebound here off the Proctor miss, and Dartmouth can slow it down. It's still a long way to go in this second half.
If you're Duke, you don't want to lose your defensive intensity right here. Filipowski's out of the game, and this will be a concern all year long. How this team looks when he's not on the floor.
Cornish in the mid-range. You don't expect it to be often that Filipowski's going to be out, but when forced into those situations,
Well, it's
foul
going to happen, and even just the course of a game, as we say that, he's getting up. Coach Shire's seen enough. He's putting him back in the game, but it's going to happen at some point, foul trouble or not, needing the rest. And with the guards they have, you can see ball screens and turning the corner like this with Reeves out there. It's going to be impactful because you got to honor the lob, tag, rotation with the 4 guards they have on the floor. It's a good look for this group.
Jeremy Roach is up to 8. 4-year starter now here with the Blue Devils.
Now with the 4 guards, Duke can switch a lot, and Reeves will just stay between his man and the basket.
Monroe steps out, but he left it short. All right, so here are the 4 guards with Reeves planted down on the right block.
You'll see them reverse it, and they'll try to drive lanes, but ultimately Reeves will come up.
Roach was feeling it. No. Johnson on the accelerator. Tipped around by McCray and off the top of the backboard.
Did McCray tip that in, or did Reeves tip that in? Both guys are going for the loose ball.
It's going to go to McCray.
Let's give it to McCray.
Captain who brings a vocal and leadership presence to this team. A lot of physicality and toughness as well. Out of Inglewood, California. There's Proctor off the ball screen. There's the lob. Reeves, the finish.
That's what he's in. It's great to see that he's earned the right to play as a sophomore. We talk so much about the other sophomores. This is the other guy, that 4th sophomore that's taking a jump, and he has the ability to defend and rebound, and that's what you want to see on the offense.
A total of 41 minutes last year, scored a total of 20 points as Neshkovich is up to 19.
And that's going to be his contribution to this Duke team. He's going to catch it off lobs. They're not going to throw it to him in the post to play.
Proctor for 3.
Early and often. You want him in attack mode at all times. And scary sight to see that guy knocking down threes with his size and playmaking ability.
He's got 8 points to go with 7 assists. McCray navigating the screen on a reverse no. Followed up by Johnson, and he will get 2 free throws on the other side. Duke's got a 63-39 lead with under 12 to go in the second half in the opener at Cameron. The Aussie Tyrese Proctor was named preseason second team All-ACC, and in the first game today, he's been good, 8.7 assists.
He has. He's always been a really good guy in finding guys and taking care of the basketball. Assist-to-turnover ratio is great. What we're seeing tonight is the improvement of what he's worked on, and an improvement in his field goal percentages from the field and from 3. Shooting 50% from the floor and 50% from 3 right now. And I don't expect him to have those numbers from 3 all year long. But again, if he can get around 40s and high 30s, with his high IQ and playmaking makes him, that sky's the limit for him.
You were having an interesting discussion about that, shooting with the coaching staff today for Duke.
Right.
It's different being able to shoot the 3 and being ready to shoot the 3.
I thought that was the issue with him a year ago. Fundamentally, he's clean. His shots looks great.
It's good there. That's not the concern.
That's not the concern. Some guys, you got to make mechanical adjustments to their shot. With him, he just wasn't ready to shoot. And he just would catch it and wait and hesitant. And he just didn't have a rhythm. And I think now he's more aggressive, more assertive. And when when coaches is giving you the confidence to take that shot, it just makes things that much easier. And I think he's the benefit of that. And we'll see that his game take off this year because of it.
He's listed 8 pounds heavier as well this year. Tyrese Proctor has said his upper body's a lot stronger. And he thinks he's gotten more explosive and quicker. Just watching him tonight, having seen a lot of him last year, I would agree he looks more explosive.
Well, I thought he was always really good with that. I think it really helps him on the defensive end, but he was already a really good defender. I think it'll help him finish in the paint when he attacks the rim.
Follow away for Filipowski with the shot clock winding down, and then Young got stripped by Jaron Johnson. Coming up on 11 to go, Duke by 22. Good back cut again, and Neshkovich is up to 21 points.
Great cut, backdoor cutting again. This 5 out and the cutting and the pressure, they're doing a great job of looking and finding their teammates late at the rim. And when you got backdoors, you got to turn and run. You can't just look ahead and throw your hands in the passing lane.
Foster finishes and then stares down Neshkovich.
Caleb Foster's done a really good job of putting pressure on the rim when he's been in the game in transition and in the half court.
Nikola Dmitrievich with the dribble handoff, and then the pop, got it back off the shot fake. Couldn't finish, got his own miss. And then was bumped underneath by Ryan Young. So 21 for Dusan Neshkovic.
Look at this. Gotta have a big when you're playing 5-0 that can pass like this. Great cut by Neshkovic, catches Filipowski sleeping on the defensive end. And Caleb Foster just really does a great job of changing speeds. Drives there, hesitates, defense rotates back to the defender, closes it, drives to the rim and finishes. He's doing a really good job of mixing up speeds. That's something that takes time to adjust for young guards to do, and he's got it early.
Neshkovic lost it on the way up, and Duke's got it back midway through the second half. Roach pulls up.
It's great to see Jeremy Roach. Just one of those guys. He's a senior, battle tested, played in all the big games, and it's great to see him confident knocking down shots.
Good off-ball defense from Foster. Roach accelerates. Filipowski and a foul.
Defense to offense. No one does it better that time. Great stop. Jeremy Roach pushes it. Unselfish play, finds Filipowski. Chance for an and one. Great defense there by Foster. Coast to coast by Roach, finding the big fella, rewarding him for running the floor. Somewhere, Dermot Clinton smiling.
Well, that was interesting. Right before Kyle Filipowski was about to shoot a free throw, Romeo Myrtle, 20 in black for Dartmouth, kind of bumped him at the free throw line, and they got locked up for a moment here. Right here, Myrtle still with a little something.
Hey, he's a competitor. He's down 20. He's down 26. He's like, I ain't taking this. That's what you want to see, a little fight. They're not intimidated. They're still competing.
Captain from Sweden and off the bench for Dave McLaughlin's group.
You often tell your group when there's a talent discrepancy like this, you tell your guys, we may lose the game, but we sure as heck can't lose the fight. And they're still out here fighting tonight.
There's Myrtle. Back out now, Brandon Mitchell-Day on the drive. No. Cleared by Foster. Roach navigating the ball screen.
Great stretch here by Jeremy Roach, just putting so much pressure on the rim. Comes off the ball screen, under control. No one stops the ball. Changes speeds, gets to the rim, an easy layup for the PVI product.
He's got a dozen. Hey, Saturday morning, the ACC Huddle crew will kick off today in Chapel Hill at 11 a.m. Eastern. Pre-game show leads into Boston College, Virginia Tech at noon. They'll have your halftime coverage, their pre- and post-game shows as well. Back at 6:30 to wrap up the afternoon and get you set for Carolina and Duke at 8 o'clock. Duke 6-3. They had that walk-off field goal on Thursday against Wake. Proctor gets into the lane and backs it out, and now move to Foster. Proctor for Filipowski.
Too easy. You can tell they didn't communicate on the switch because you don't want to put a guard on Filipowski, and that was happening. And didn't switch properly and can't get an easier dunk than that.
Dartmouth needs a timeout. Duke is rolling in this second half.
Look at his dribble handoff, slip by the big. No help comes. Easy two by the big man.
Coming up next, we will wrap up the night with the Nothing But Net crew. Working some long hours today, huh? Right here in Durham. Here on ACCN and the ESPN app.
Yeah, those guys got to earn that big money.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it. Keep pace with you.
They got to. Why not?
Ryan Cornish trying to wrap one around for Monroe, and he is the last to touch it. Sean Stewart's into the game for Duke. First time we have seen another one of those highly decorated freshmen. Stewart from Windermere, Florida. Number 19 in our ESPN 100, and another McDonald's All-American.
And he is an elite athlete, so watch your head if he gets a chance.
He is a pogo stick.
Gets a quick touch there.
And we go right back to break. That was your finest work of the night right there, that last minute, Randolph. Well, back in September, big news surrounding this Dartmouth team. It's 15 men's basketball players. This group unanimously signed a petition to pursue unionization. They wrote an op-ed in the student newspaper back in Hanover, New Hampshire about their motivation for it, and they said in part that they're unionizing to be compensated like other student employees. Dartmouth, meanwhile, in a 4-day hearing that concluded a few weeks ago, they say the players are not employees, and we'll see how it all shakes out. A decision is expected to be written and handed down in the coming weeks, and then the process, who knows, could play out a lot longer than that afterward. It's the age of college athletics we are in. We'll see how it shakes out. Meanwhile, here at Cameron, we got 7:34 to go, and Duke is in control. They've been very efficient offensively in the second half.
Yeah, Duke Blue Devils are shooting 70% in the second half. And a lot of that's been they've done a great job of turning turnovers and quick shots into baskets, and just got caught that time. Caleb Foster got stuck behind Mitchell Day there in the post and just got buried too deep. Young fella's got to get around in front when he switches on to a bigger guy like that.
Split at the line from the sophomore from St. Louis, Brandon Mitchell Day, and now Tyrese Proctor at the controls. TJ Powers into the game as well, 12 in white, another one of those very talented freshmen. And his collegiate debut misses from D. And a push-off is called on Monroe. Hey, what a Week 11 ACC Network football lineup we've got for you on Saturday. Starts at noon Eastern. Boston College and Virginia Tech, couple of 3-2 teams in the ACC. Then it's to Yankee Stadium, Pitt and Syracuse. And we cap the day with Duke and Carolina at 8. All three games also available on the ESPN app.
I think Riley Leonard to play that game.
Oh, man, it's been one of the real disappointments. You feel for him.
Yeah, that team's gotten off to such a hot start, and he tweaked that ankle.
And for Dusan Neshkovich, got the bump, and Monroe couldn't clean it up. Tipped around underneath and last touch by Jackson Monroe.
You got the young group out there now. You got 4 freshmen out there, so they get a chance to see, and particularly for Powell and for Stewart, they weren't in the early rotation. And Shire said to us early, these guys are gonna have to force him to make, for him to play them, and be interesting to keep an eye on those guys' development as the season continues.
Yeah, John Shire went 8 deep in the first half. And remember, without Mark Mitchell, you can basically say, all right, so there's your top 9.
Yeah.
The guys you expect to be the starting 5, at least at the outset with McCain in that group. And then Young, Foster, Reeves, and Blake's apparently the first 4 who come off the bench. And then it was Stewart as the 10th guy into this game, and then Power at number 11. I mean, you're talking about top 30 national recruits being 10 and 11.
But it's what happens when you have the class ahead of you, and usually the Tyrese Proctors and the Filipowskis, they don't come back. So these guys come in and they're learning the jump and how hard it is, and sometimes you come to situations and you're just forced to play. I think Jared McCain is another freshman, just fouled out, got his 5th foul, and shot the ball well early, but he's been in foul trouble throughout the day, and that's his 5th.
It is on McCain, and it is his 5th, so his collegiate debut ends with 6:10 left to go.
5 fouls in 15 minutes. Some of that is controlled. You want to have a controlled aggression when you're a freshman coming in. It's the first game of the year. You've been practicing against your teammates. You're ready to play against someone new and opening night, and they're definitely going to need him in the next couple of games. So he's got to settle down, shake this one off. Get ready for Arizona coming in on Friday.
But so back to the discussion about the depth and the rotation.
Right.
I mean, that's how deep you're getting into the bench. And we haven't even talked about Jaden Chute, a guy who's got a defined skill set.
Yes, he's probably the best catch and shoot guy on a roster. So again, he has the luxury of just forcing guys to say, this is the standard, this is what I expect out of you in the defensive end and all those things. And if they don't do it, they just come out of the game. And he's going to be able to do that. But with this freshman group, they got to earn the right to play. And I think that's a great thing. And for the team to have the goals that this team has of winning the national championship with the talent that they have, it's a great message to send.
Foster slices for 2.
He's just done that all night. Got to his spots, put so much pressure on the rim. Shot his floater there. This is what you want to see on the defensive end. He got a hand around, but trying to deny that high post pass.
You think there's a chance Caleb Foster ends up being in the starting 5 at some point this year?
I think everything we'll learn about this team early, you know, they're coming out of the gate. This is, you know, they're up 30 now, but they got Arizona with Caleb Love coming back, who understands what that rivalry is and is comfortable playing in this building. They got Michigan State right after that. So when we get through those 2 games, we'll realize and we'll see what Coach Shire's going to do with this team, because he's trying to figure this group out. He doesn't know yet. Do we want to play big? Do we want to play small? We saw when Mitchell went out, he immediately went back to his comfort zone of last year, sliding Filipowski to the floor. They have that depth. They have that versatility. What they lock in on as the season goes on, we'll find out, because it's up to these young guys to show him, you know, force him to play him. If not, he's shown us he's comfortable with 7 or 8 guys already.
With Duke in control with 5:39 to go, Jackson Monroe makes both for Dartmouth. Right now it's Power, Roach, Foster, Blakes, and Stewart, the 5 for John Shire.
And that's part of the adjustment too, right? You get some of these guys with this perimeter-led group, their offense is better. The question with Duke when they play with these 3 guards, their 3-point shooting is going to be better, as we see Caleb Foster gets in the paint, finishes right there. Their offenses will be better. Let's just see if they can sustain the defensive intensity that they had last year. I mean, he's just getting to the paint, ready to shoot, attacking. It's a great drive and finish there, and he's a big guard. He's a 6'5" guard, has size, he's defending.
That's why I asked the question of, at some point, could he be someone who steps into that group? Anyone could, right? In terms of talent, but it's a smaller backcourt right now than maybe is optimal.
It's Jeremy Roach experience, and then you got this talented freshman coming in. All of those guys will play. But Kane brings in the sharp shooting. We didn't see a lot of it tonight, but his ability to shoot. And then you got Tyrese Proctor. They're great problems to have, but we'll see what happens as we move forward. I mean, it can go either way. He could go big. You know, Shire likes this bigger lineup, it seems like. It looks like from practice, but Kane has forced him to play small.
Yep.
He's earned the right. Roach has earned the right to start, but he likes the bigger lineup. And we'll see if one of the other freshmen, maybe Powell takes a step, maybe Stewart takes a step. And we know Filipowski's versatility allows him to play anywhere.
We still get to watch.
Reeves is taking a step.
Yeah.
Ryan Young is consistent. He's been named the captain. As we see Roach get to his spot there. So it's great problems to have. Within a game, they're going to be able to do that, and that's why I think they're so different.
Look out, watch out,
watch
Stewart.
Yourself. Oh, I'm glad he's okay. That's just scary to see. Just
the guy with the standing vertical record now in Duke history, breaking Zion's mark from a few years back, was ready to detonate.
Yeah. And instead, it turned into a Mike Monaco vertical moment.
A bump in the open floor, and Stewart cleared for liftoff after the whistle this time. Gonna pretend you didn't say that.
Don't worry. I mean, but yes, they're still getting the passing lane there, and
you're right. I mean, thank goodness that was not worse.
He's okay. Yeah, just catches it, finishes it.
He was ready.
He was ready
to go through the roof of Cameron Indoor Stadium. 4:06 to go. Duke rolling in the opener. Hey, the ACC Fall Championships continue Wednesday night with the semifinals. All matches right here on ACCN and on the ESPN app, the home of ACC Championships. Alongside Randolph Childress, I'm Mike Monaco. Our entire crew behind the scenes led by producer Will Black and director Chad Lampman. Good atmosphere inside Cameron.
Cameron crazies tonight are as cool as you are up here with your little fan blowing on you.
Let's be very clear. One of the two announcers tonight brought a fan. It was not me.
Yeah, and it's on you, though. Here,
Stewart up top from Blakes. There you go.
great play coming out of the timeout to get your best athlete a dunk to get him going.
Dartmouth with 3:45 left in its first ever meeting with Duke. Myrtle skips it, and off the bounce, Connor Christensen gives it up. And now Jaron Johnson drives. Dimitrievich can't knock it down out of the corner. Good battle on the boards there, and Johnson can't finish it up, but Dimitrievich can.
Everything has gone well for Duke tonight. They played great, but this is just the concerns the Shire's had, and gives him coaching moments. Coaches are always looking for something to teach and talk about, no matter how well their team is playing. But
so you'd say rebounding?
Rebounding the basketball is something that, and particularly from his guards, because when he's gone with the smaller lineup, they've struggled with that.
Foster draws a foul. Yeah, total rebounds right now, even at 28 apiece.
Yeah, and they hadn't missed a ton of shots, but it's something that Shire knows that this group is going to have to get better at, and in a hurry, because they're playing older and physical teams over the next week, back-to-back in Arizona, Michigan State.
Foster knocks down the first.
Foster's earned his way in the rotation. We know he's already in. 15 points tonight, and Coach Shire raves about his work ethic and shot-making ability as well.
Off the miss, Christensen goes scrapping for it and wrangles possession for Dartmouth. Inside of 3 to go. This Dartmouth team, we told you, a lot back from last year. 7 of the top 9 scorers as Christensen cuts. And it's going to be competitive, as it always is in the ancient 8 in the Ivy League. Team that lost Dame Adelican after he graduated. He goes to Loyola. And how about a cool story tonight with Dave McLaughlin? Head coach has his own college teammates here, 7 of them from the Colby College Mules. He told us they come to 4 or 5 games a year. They got their tickets on their own, and they came here to Durham from as far as California and Maine. And they're here supporting his team, and Dave McLaughlin made sure they came in with the team right there, as you see on the screen at the end of shoot-around today.
Yeah, it's great when your teammates come back and support you that way, and such an iconic environment here at Duke. It's just a memory that all the players and coaches have, and regardless of the score, you just know the history that's been made in this building, and you don't know how many times you'll be able to come in, and no matter you're a visiting team or not, you just want to soak those moments in.
Blakes knocks him down. An opportunity that Dartmouth got when athletic director Mike Harrity got announced a couple of summers ago as the full-time athletic director. He got a congratulatory text from Duke executive John Jackson, who said, if you want to come down, I'll hold the first game for you in the Big Green here in Durham. Crowd loves it because Spencer Hubbard, the senior who got a scholarship before this year, the former walk-on, is into the game. 55 in white.
Shoot it!
Stewart post entry for Reeves. On a hook that doesn't go, cleared by Cade Haskins. Hubbard trying to stick with Isaiah Robinson, who steps back. John Shire makes a substitution timeout with 1:44 to go. Calls on Neil Begovic, Stanford transfer.
Yeah, one of these guys got to get a shot. Either Begovic or Hubbard. Somebody's got to get one up here.
Hubbard is on the practice squad his freshman year, walked on a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, here it is. Here we go.
Hubbard, the floater! First career bucket. You gotta love it.
On cue.
Off the bounce, that is Abu Sara, freshman from Chicago, after Spencer Hubbard
I bet you he's done this a bunch in practice. Just probes, gets down the lane. Nice little teardrop, gets the roll. Congratulations on your first basket of your career, young man. Always great to see these guys when they're rewarded with scholarships get a moment to play. You always tell your older guys you owe it to these guys to give them an opportunity to play. Tell your experienced guys, your other scholarship players, that when guys earn that right as walk-ons, they work as hard as anybody. It's great when those guys get a chance to get out there and play.
Amen to that. And walk-ons at the end of blowout wins, it's like catnip for a student section. They're all over it.
All right. Double up. Shoot it.
Here's Stewart. Final minute here in Durham. Almost blew a tire again.
Yeah, Stewart's got to change his shoes. He slipped a bunch tonight.
Power stripped. Robinson whisks it away. And Hubbard takes a charge.
He's doing it on both ends of the floor. Jamie Lucky on the call, rewarding him, sacrificing his body, steps in front of the ball, draws the charge.
Jalen Blakes can't wipe that smile off his face, and now listen to the crazies. It is so good to have you back, college basketball. We missed you.
It is great to be here at opening night as well in the college season. Second-ranked team didn't disappoint. Blue Devils are for real.
It'll stay with Dartmouth with 20.4 to go. Meanwhile, for the Big Green, they're home Friday. Home opener up in New Hampshire. They face UMass Lowell. Ivy League play will get started for them January 6th. Number 14 game league slate in the Ancient Eight. Off a skip for Isaiah Robinson. Swirls it out, and that'll do it in Durham. Duke 92, Dartmouth 54, and the Blue Devils number 2 in the country start out 1-0.
We saw what we wanted to see. Started out a little sluggish. I think they settled for too many jump shots. They got going. 3 started falling. Guys coming in the game, stepping up. So many weapons. So many ways they can hurt you. But one thing that's remained consistent tonight was the defensive end of the floor. And that'll translate no matter who you're playing.
25 from Kyle Filipowski to lead the way with this high-flying Duke team in a new season. For Randolph Childress and our entire excellent crew behind the scenes, Mike Monaco saying so long from Durham. Thanks for joining us at Triple Header of Hoops here on ACCN. Coming up next, nothing but net after the break with Kelsey.